It's been a real privilege, it's been a tremendous honour to be here, and it's been pretty special, I think, to celebrate where else the treaty was signed throughout our country, and it's very special to be here. So with that, happy to take your questions.
What did you take away from Ngāi Tahu's, from their addresses that they gave you today?
Look, I thought there was really respectful but very straight up challenge and provocation, and quite rightly so. I really enjoyed the conversation. It was a genuine example of what I think makes New Zealand pretty special, is that we can come to a place like this, we can express our views. We had a very good series of meeting last night as well, where we meet with Ngāi Tahu leadership regularly as a smaller group of ministers, and we'll continue to do so. And we think there's a lot of opportunity for us to work together, and particularly again, we talked about areas of growth, because actually that economic foundation enables us to deliver the better services we want to get through to all of our people, whether they're in Ngāi Tahu or whether across the whole of New Zealand. So we've got massive alignment around our values, and I think around the way we want to work going forward.
Yeah, but they told you you can't deliver economic growth if you've got a fractured country, right? That was one of the things they told you.
There was a number of themes that I thought put together and articulated incredibly well, and as I said, I think it was really fair challenge and provocation, but there was also very good alignment. There was a lot in Justin Tebba's speech that I fully agree with and represents the philosophy of the National Party. So, as we know, and we've built those relationships over the last year and a half, I think we're in good shape, and I'm excited about what we can do together going forward, because we have a lot of work to do in this country, and we have a fantastic country with lots of potential, but now it's our job to go together and actually get that job done for people, and whether that's about improving education, improving health, doing the things, raising incomes, improving the economy, that's what it's about.
Was there anything you disagreed with in the speech? Any points that you felt were sort of incorrect in terms of...
No, I thought the principles of what he talked about I could fully identify with, and articulated very much the National Party tradition of actually what we believe as well, and so I thought it was a very reasonable speech.
Premier, why did you decide to come to Ōnuku?
Well, I've always had a view that I want to go around the country where the treaty was signed. I had the huge privilege where Bill English actually in his year as Prime Minister invited me to Ngāti Whātua Raki. He didn't go to Waitangi that year either, and I went with him into the Wharanui, and it was a really special occasion, and it just made me always think, we want to celebrate Waitangi Day across the whole of the country, and it doesn't have to be dominated by Waitangi. We get out and about. These events have been going on for 185 years across the country, and I think it's important to see it. So for me, that's what it was about, and of course this is a pretty special place for me. This is where I have always holidayed as a kid and brought my own family here, and so it's pretty special to come around the corners and have lots of flashbacks and memories that are pretty cool and special. But I think Waitangi Day is an awesome day in New Zealand, and I think we should be celebrating it, and I know it's a chance always for us to have the challenges and the provocation. That's an important part, but having lived overseas for 16 years and worked in lots of different countries, I can tell you I cannot think of another country that has this level where we actually come together on Waitangi Day with all of our differences, and yet despite all of that we're still determined to plot a path forward together, and I think that makes this country really, really special, and I think you saw that today, and that was intelligent, it was respectful, we were in dialogue, and I think everyone came away saying that was a good relationship enhancing conversation that took place.
At Waitangi, Dame Naida Glavish said she was disappointed Ngāi Tahu was hosting you. She said that it basically allowed you to not attend at Waitangi. What do you think about that?
Well, look, I've been to Waitangi the last 2 years. Former Prime Ministers, whether it's been Helen Clark, John Key, others, Bill English, haven't come to Waitangi each and every year. And as I said, I've only been in politics 4 years, but I came into it with view, having been very impressed by the fact that watching Bill English go to another iwi and actually celebrate Waitangi Day gave it a different dimension and a different perspective. And so for me, that's really important. So it doesn't preclude me from going back to Waitangi. I hope to be back there, but I also have really enjoyed today. I think it's been really, really special. It's been a tremendous privilege.
The President. So you had 3 ministers at the dawn service this morning, one of which was David Seymour. Is that treating the national values there?
Well, again, it's about people with a whole range of different views, and let's be clear, in our political landscape at the moment, we have 6 political parties that have different constituencies and different perspectives on a range of issues. As I alluded to before, I still think it's quite special that we can actually, despite all the differences, despite tension, despite frustration, we still show up and actually engage in a process and in a conversation with each other on this day. And so So, for me, that's why it's been important to be here, and I'm proud of the ministers that have come along to support me today and have also been welcomed here by Ngāi Tahu. We've had very constructive conversations over the last 12 hours on a range of topics, and we feel very excited and leave here actually more determined than ever that there's a lot more that we can work together on and deliver for New Zealanders.
The president of the Methodist Church in Waitangi said that, used her speech there to criticise the government and you yourself. David Seymour has said that may be a reason why church attendance is declining. What do you think about that?
Oh, look, I don't have a view on that. I wasn't there and I haven't heard those remarks.
What is your understanding of the differences between the TDT and the Treaty of Waitangi?
Look, I mean, that's the thing that we have been debating for 185 years, and I actually think the treaty has made us a better country. And so we haven't always agreed on the interpretation and the application of the treaty. And I'd put it to you, I don't think we ever will. But I think the thing is that we actually still, despite all of that and our different understandings and the debate about the application and the meaning, actually we still come together and we still find a way to wrestle with it. And that wrestling with the principles of the treaty and what that means for us in New Zealand has been the workout of 185 years that I think has made us a better, much stronger, better country. And yes, in terms of the arc of our country, we go forward and we go backwards and we go forward and we go backwards. And our view is that with government, with iwi, we can actually form a partnership that actually means that we can take this country forward. And we have a fantastic country. We have an amazing future. We have incredible potential. So I think that's what's made our nationhood really special. And again, I just say, around the world, I've been to many places where First Nations are hugely disrespected, have been wiped off the history of their country, are not engaged in civil life. That is something I'm incredibly proud about. I think we've done it incredibly well. As hard as it's been, as difficult as it's been, and we haven't got it right, and we won't continue to get it perfect and right either going forward. We still come together and we still wrestle with it, and we find a way to work our way through it. And I think that makes us better. Okay, team. Thanks so much. Safe travel time.
Let's go and eat, eh? Let's go and have a pint.